Hey guys, it's Pranav with BoomSDR. Welcome to the video. Thank you guys for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to keep it really brief and we're going to focus on something that I think is probably one of the most important factors for an SDR, BDR, ADR, whatever you want to call yourself. This is probably one of the most important aspects of being successful in this role, and that's emotional intelligence. How do you handle your own emotions in a state? In any state, in any environment, throughout the course of your day-to-day workflow. So before we dive into the video, I do want to ask you guys for two favors. If you do enjoy the video, please hit like or subscribe below. And if I left anything out of this video, I'm not going to know everything and how other organizations. I'm not going to even assume that I know how other organizations and other individuals are approaching their day-to-day. And if you think there's something I left out of this video, please drop me a comment below. Would love to discuss with you other aspects of emotional intelligence and the role it plays in being successful in sales. All right, so let's get right into it. So what exactly is emotional intelligence? We got to define it first, right? So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, and recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. And what does that really mean? That's a great statement, a great way to condense a really broad topic. And ultimately, the way I view emotional intelligence is the fact that you are able to keep a steady state of mind, regardless of whether you are crushing it, or if haven't even had a sale or set an appointment in the last 2 months and you're about to be on performance improvement plan. And no matter what the situation entails, you're able to take an analytical and data-driven mindset to your workflow, and you don't let emotions guide your actions. So why is the ability to remove emotions from our workflow and our actions important? Well, emotions have a huge impact on every single human being. It's human to have emotions, yet it's not the most effective approach when it comes to business or even work for that matter. So, harnessing emotional intelligence and some of these principles that you're going to find as you go down this rabbit hole of learning about emotional intelligence, being able to harness that in a productive manner is going to do a few different things. And first and foremost, it's going to change the way you approach and the way you perceive actions. First and foremost, feedback. Getting feedback from either your SDR manager, from your VP of sales, from an AE that you're working with, being able to accept that feedback and not internalize it as a reflection of yourself is critical to being able to grow and become better in anything. So, when you are able to control your emotions in the way you receive criticism or feedback, constructive or negative feedback, it's really important in the way that you grow and develop as a human being and as a sales professional. Second, it's going to allow you to pause and appreciate that while you might be frustrated with a certain situation, it's not helpful. And that applies to a variety of emotions: anger, sadness, frustration. All of those are going to, if you do internalize those and you do let them gain control, you're going to change the way you react to those emotions. And if you're able to change that behavioral pattern of what that reaction is every time you feel that emotion, and turn it from something that's a negative response to a positive response, you're going to automatically increase your productivity. It's going to boost that through the roof. And third, it's going to allow you to, again, going back to our previous how we opened this call or this conversation, is it's going to allow you to prioritize your workflow. Because again, emotions guide actions. That's a given, right? When you remove those emotions from your actions, what drives your actions at that point? Data. What is going to return me the highest, what's going to give me the highest ROI for every minute, for every hour that I spend at work? And that's ultimately how you become an efficient SDR, an efficient salesperson. You're going to focus on what the highest impact actions are and prioritize those over your personal desire to perform those actions. So A great example is fear of calling. I have worked with a number of SDRs in my career where they won't make a single call till after noon or after 1 p.m. in the day. And that ultimately stems from the fact that it's not something they want to do when they first get into work. Yet, it's been proven time and time again, calling at certain hours during the day is going to yield a much higher return than calling during other hours during the day. If you're calling when a certain time zone is at lunch, that might not necessarily be the best time. Or on the flip side, it could be the best time. Who knows? But either way, just because it's not something you want to do at that certain time, that should not be the reason that you don't do it. You need to do it because it's going to yield the highest impact, the highest return on that specific hour of time that you're spending on prospecting or on work. So removing those emotions, it's really going to help you prioritize, what and where am I getting the biggest return and what can I focus on next? And ultimately, these three things are what I see as the biggest benefits to really focusing on emotional intelligence, focusing on removing emotions from your decision making. And I've seen this actually impact entire careers. I've had SDRs where even though they know their emotions are affecting their day-to-day, they don't prioritize learning how to manage them. And ultimately, that's not going to yield the type of success that you want or the type of culture that you want to develop on your team or the personal brand reputation you want for yourself as a sales professional. You don't want to be that sales professional that always gets angry, that always gets sad. That again impacts your team. And as you move up the corporate ladder, as you move up in your professional career, being able to control those emotions and how they impact your workflow and your impact at work is critical to your own personal development. And that's about it, guys. I think it's we could talk about this for hours and hours, and ultimately, this is going to be a jumping off point for you to actually go and explore this on your own. And that's going to take me to my last slide here, guys. Always remember, growth is the priority. Here at BoomSDR, what we focus on ultimately is giving you the tools to expand, to grow, to develop, to move up the corporate ladder, to become a better sales professional. And for most SDRs, this is an entry point for them. This is their first job after college. Or it could be, you've had a professional career before, but you want to get into sales now. Whatever that may be, an SDR position is ultimately a point of opportunity for growth. And I highly recommend that you consume as much knowledge, as much material, as much learning that's available on the internet. And that's going to make you a much better sales professional and drive your career forward. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm done rambling over here. But if you did enjoy the video and you found this content to be useful and you think other people would find it useful as well, again, please hit like, please hit subscribe. That really helps us, and all the time and effort that we put into making these videos, it really shows us that there are people out there that are benefiting from it. So thanks again, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll drop a few links below. A lot of these books that I have on the screen might not necessarily relate to emotional intelligence, but if you made it this far in the video, highly recommend checking out the links below. I'll toss in some more relevant titles that can help you learn more about emotional intelligence and its effect in sales. Great. Well, thank you guys for your time today. You have a great day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.